This here is a survival shelter, a natural survival shelter I made years ago. As you see, all the brush and such has since died, but if I wanted to, I could just load more vegetation on the top of this and it would be waterproof once again. This here is a great option if you do not have a tarp or a simpler option. Knowing how to construct a natural survival shelter is a great skill to have, and it's always a good backup plan. This shelter here was constructed that it was large enough I could move around in there and I could spend a few days if I needed to until rescued. Also, I have a fire pit, a firewall here that I can heat this with a fire. Now this is a great option, but it takes resources and it takes time to build. Sometimes you do not have either. So if you do not have the resources or the time to make a natural shelter, then carrying a shelter with you that you can throw up quickly is a very good option. And that's why I carry a tarp, a couple tarps that I can create a shelter very fast and get out of terrible conditions, whether it's rain, the sun, or even bugs. Fire is a skill that I believe everyone that comes into the forest should know. It does so many things for us, from keeping us warm to boiling water to keeping away bugs even. So it's a very good skill to know. I practiced primitive fire. I've done fire many different ways, and it's one of my most enjoyable skills. Now, coming out here for a survival kit, like I mentioned, I have done primitive fire. I've made many fires with a bow drill, but that again takes time. It takes resources. Sometimes again you don't have time or resources. So it's a great backup solution. I also use a lot of tinders, natural tinders, when I make my fires, but it does not hurt to carry some man-made tinders that makes fire very quick and it's reliable. Carrying a lighter, it's very reliable most of the times. A ferro rod, know how to use both if you carry them, but both are very good choices. Now water is a huge concern as well. You have to keep hydrated as much as possible because you can perish within 3 days without water. That is a generalized rule, but it's a good one to remember because it means that as much as you can, stay hydrated. And there's many options out there. I've got a stainless steel water bottle. I can make a fire, I can boil my water, and I can drink it. Now that also takes time. It's a very good option. It kills most and pretty much all in our area of the nasties in the water besides chemicals. But you also have many different options. This here is a straw filter that I can put right in the water and draw water out of the stream and stay hydrated. But you can also collect rainwater. There's many ways to gather water. But this here, carrying stuff like this, can make it a lot simpler because I can drink from here and go. Always think time and availability. I may be in an area where I can't make a fire for whatever reason to boil the water. So, a safe way to go would be a water filter. Something to keep in mind. Another very important topic is signaling. Having people find you so you're rescued if you're ever lost or stranded. That can be as important as any of them. A whistle, some tarps, knowing how to make a signal fire. There's many ways to signal for help. Very important. I also have a few snacks in my kit just for energy, and it's a morale boost. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the pack that I created for my own environment and my own personal kit to fit my needs and to make it as simple as possible. The key to this pack is make it light enough that I will carry it anytime I come into the woods. It has to be comfortable and it can't be cumbersome, because some people will just pass it to the side and say, I don't need that. I got to make this into a pack that I will want to throw on my back every time I come out here.